I'm in a good mood, actually. I'm in love again. Wow, that's a great feeling, you know. Great girl. And the moment I laid eyes on her, I knew, you know, that she was someone I was looking at. And, I have to have that. I've always been kind of impulsive with women, you know. I married my high school sweetheart. You know, yeah. Which when you marry your high school sweetheart, it's kind of like you said, you know what? I've looked all over the school. Like the dumbest way to find a wife ever. So here's how I found out we were splitting up. I was gonna get a tattoo of her on my arm, right? She's like, I wouldn't do that. My wife had really low self-esteem. Actually, it's one of my favorite things about her.
To me, marriage feels like a downgrade. When you get engaged, what do you have? A fiancé. Doesn't that sound nice? Fiancé. It's a nice word. Makes you want to call home, right? Fiancé. After that, you got a spouse. Ugh. A damn spouse. Makes you want to call an exterminator or something. I got a spouse in the house.
So, you know, like, look, you're fine at the way you are. You ever date somebody like that where you're like, I'm good with you like this, you know, but another 15, 20 pounds, I can't guarantee your safety in this relationship. You don't want it to be the... Just not, it doesn't have to stay the same size forever, but the same basic shape. And I'm happy. My wife. Like, have I already called her a nightmare individual? I want to emphasize that.
Sometimes I wish I would have stayed with the wife. You know, we have a family now, which would be kind of cool. Which although I do have to say this, I used to hate the sound of a kid crying in public. You know, like it would really annoy me, that sound. You know, it'd get on your nerves. But now I kind of like it. You know, because I could be having a terrible day. You know, everything's going wrong, and I hear that sound. I'm like, oh yeah, it could be worse. You know? What the hell?
Mandy Statmiller put out a new video. This is Pat Dixon's wife. They're separated, and they're doing their separation publicly for us.
It's nice of them.
Which is really nice. They're going through a crazy, psychotic separation with live streams, which is always the best. And we're only doing this to, you know, make fun of them.
Nasty kind of...
That's the cigarettes.
Cigarette feeling.
Oh, it is the
where
cigarette.
It feels weaker.
My heart
like
feels that nasty cigarette feeling. You could tell with my voice, right, fellas? I'm on smokes. Oh, do I love them. Marlboros and Camels.
Wouldn't that be funny if someone was so into smoking they smoked them all? Oh, I've got them all.
Marlboros, Camels, Salem's, Newports. Give me a smoke.
Nobody loves cigarettes enough to really...
Try every
Yeah,
brand.
get into it.
You can, like, envision. You can, like, see your heart and your mind.
Yes.
Maybe that's just too much, like, medical and scientific writing. But I always imagine it as just being, like, an air conditioner.
By the way, she's in bed with no clothes on. She's got the blanket over her. But again, should you even be filming yourself if you have no clothes? Even if it's cut out of the frame, should you be doing
way
it?
Too risky.
Well, it's still there. It's not even about risk. It's intent. You're nude. You're unwashed. You're sleeping at a friend's house. Do you have a permit? Did your friend give you permission to film?
I mean, just think about waking up in the morning. Imagine waking up this before your eyes are even able to open, and you're pulling out your phone and going live.
It's insane.
I can never understand
It's
that
insane.
as long as
her
I
eyes
live.
are glued together from last night's tears still.
Through 2 marriages, 2 divorces, 1 attempted murder, and it's true. And here's what I know is I hate makeovers on TV, because they always take an average woman and they make her beautiful, right? And I can't take an average woman and make her beautiful, but I can take a crazy woman and make her violent. Divorce is kind of a bummer. Nobody wants to be divorced, you know, except 50% of all married couples. But other than that, no one. I think I know how to bring the divorce rate down. It's 50%. That's what it always stays. But I think I know how to do it. What you do is you make divorce illegal, right? And you make the penalty death. And that would bring the divorce rate down to like 40%. Which would bring the murder rate up like 10%. I know that doesn't really work mathematically.
Yeah, no, you had. No, that shows
And not only that,
you are fickle as
but you,
fuck.
I could tell.
Your
were fine.
loyalty is like.
Hold on one second. You were standing on the bed getting things from a shelf, and you said, "I'm just grabbing a couple of things." And so
Yeah.
she's fine. The girl's walking around like, "The fuck just happened?" You know, she's obviously taken very off guard.
God, I
So
hope
you
she's
could-
okay. Maybe we should call her right now and get her over here and do a fucking crowd fund for her trauma counseling. Do you think? Who's gonna GoFundMe for
What's
that
your
little doll?
what's your position on masks?
Masks? I love them.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You know that I have a problem with masks.
Yeah. Why are you switching the subject from that?
That is the subject.
Okay.
Coronavirus tearing your marriage apart.
Well, it's just because people haven't been able to. It's because everything has been so thrown out of whack, and so shit. It's like the Real World. You remember the first reality show on MTV?
Yeah.
When you stop being polite and things start getting real.
And you think coronavirus made everything get real.
Yes.
And then Puck starts eating everybody's peanut butter with his boogery finger.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And so, like...
And in this situation, you're a Puck.
I thought we were already real.
And I'm the dead guy with AIDS.
No, you're the depressed person, you know. You became very, very despondent, you know. I mean, because there was no... And the thing is, it didn't make that big of a difference in your lifestyle. You know? Why are you staring at me that way?
Well, tell me more about my lifestyle and my depression and how that affects you.
Well, it's not how it affects me. It's how coronavirus affected our marriage.
Right.
We were already in a very small apartment.
Yeah.
And I felt something about coronavirus, even though it didn't change the actual structure of our apartment, it did.
Yeah.
It moved the walls a little closer.
Right.
And
it's a studio
we were leaving
apartment.
It's a studio apartment. It's a lovely apartment, but it's small, you know.
Yeah.
So I think that something about being locked down in it
Right.
made it seem really inescapable.